Just your thoughts on media day, getting ready to get going this season.
It's exciting. First day, obviously, we get to practice here as a team. Get to scrimmage tonight, and got some alumni stuff going on this weekend too. So, feels good to get everything rolling again. Finally, see some live arms, get in the box, have some competition, and kind of see where we're at before the season.
Guy, what's it like?
Somebody like you to come in and see Willie here and know that he's got the experience that he has.
Yeah, it's really cool. Obviously, I've been able to know Willie for a while just through the ASU connection, and it feels good, man. Obviously, when you're listening to coaches, it's a little easier to listen when someone's done it at the highest level for over 10 years. And the way kind of have to do it, maybe smaller guy, have to do the little things the right way. So, yeah, it means a lot.
What'd your dad tell you about Willie? It's one of his favorite former players.
Yeah, like I said, I've known Willie for a while, and I've been able to hang around him when I was a little kid when I didn't even remember. But yeah, my dad loves Willie, and that connection's obviously there, and quality people are good to have around like that.
What are the messages and lessons you've taken away from Willie so far during this offseason?
I think the biggest thing that he preaches, and the biggest thing really about baseball, is the mentality piece. He talks about like a warrior's mentality, obviously in the box, but really in every aspect of life and on the field, anywhere you are, being a warrior and, just saying I'm not going to get beat, no one's better than me, and just having that kind of chip on your shoulder that can carry you and help the team.
Are you still pitching, or are you doing some stuff in the fall, or are you kind of moving to the position player side a little bit?
Yeah, we're still on track with doing both right now. Like I said before, not exactly sure what it's going to look like, but I'm staying in shape, obviously to play outfield every day and then hopefully be able to help the team on the mound whenever, Coach Bloomquist calls on it.
Kai, in the fall, you guys talked a lot about how you feel like this offense is kind of going to sneak up on people, and is that still the case? And how have things, if anything, gotten better since then? Has there been any particular story that sort of solidified that narrative for you?
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely believe that. I think a lot of people are doubting us a little bit in the preseason stuff, and if you read too far into that, you're going to get lost in it. I know every day in the locker room with those guys what it's like, hitting in the cage with them, having conversation with them, and the biggest thing, I think the biggest takeaway is like the freshman class that we have here is very advanced. There's some advanced hitting minds. Jacob Tobias had a huge fall, of course, but there's a lot of guys that I think will surprise you. Brett Howard's got a beautiful swing, obviously huge body and a lot of potential. So, I think the guys that were around last year, we're going to do what we do and have that, that experience. But the younger guys, the freshmen, might make a big impact as well.
Now that you've been around Willie a lot more, how much of what he says reminds you of your dad?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a couple. We'll have some times where he'll say a quote, and I'll to the team in a team meeting, and I'll kind of laugh because it's like, yeah, I've heard that one a couple times before. But it's good, man. Like, the reminders are always there. Sometimes you think you know everything, and because I've heard a lot from my dad, and I'm lucky to hear that. But it's good to have reminders about some of those key concepts and mostly mindset stuff.
What has your dad said to you about really coaching the team?
He just loves it. He's excited. It's obviously, it's a good fit. He knows the type of person Willie is, and above all else, he's still a dad on the team. Like he has a kid on the team, so he just cares that he's going to treat me right, treat me with respect, and he's obviously done that very well. So that's just the biggest thing, just a dad being a dad.
Your new number? Did you have to get Swift's permission to get a 6?
Yeah, I told Swifty last year. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm coming for 6 once you're gone."
What'd he say?
He loves it. He's all in on it. Swifty's seriously like one of my best friends. I'm so lucky I got to play with him. I knew him in high school, just growing up around here, but being able to play with him and learn from him last year was crazy. I try to model a lot of things I do after him. And to carry on that number 6 this year, it's a good honor, and he loves it.
How do you think Ethan will do at third?
I think he's going to be great. I think, obviously you guys know Ethan. He's an incredible athlete, and more importantly, he likes to do things that people don't think he can do, So I think physically he's going to do great, but mentally he's going to make that switch very well because there's a lot of people that are doubting it and want to see how it's going to go. So I think he's gonna slide right in very well.
What does it mean to have Connor healthy this year?
Huge. Connor Davis, huge leader since the day he stepped on campus. Honestly, he just took over that role, and sometimes I listen to him in team meetings. I'm like, I can learn a lot from him as a leader, and the way he carries himself, and the way he commands his team. But yeah, obviously last year he's a great leader and helped us a lot. But being able to share the field with him and go through the trenches with him every day adds even more weight to what he says, and he has to back it up, and he does back up what he says. So it is important to have him on the field with us, and then obviously from a baseball standpoint, he's a great hitter, going to be great at first, and I expect him to have a huge year and be a big part of this thing.
You mentioned Swift's leadership, and now with you taking over number 6, does that kind of signify a step up for you in your leadership role this year?
I think the number is just a number, but it could. I think that the biggest thing, Swifty's my best friend last year, one of them, and we joke around, but I still was learning a lot from him, and I observed how he went about his business, and that's why he got picked up and he does so well in pro ball last year because he goes about his business the right way. So I wouldn't say it's a thing where I have to step up and be a leader, but I believe that I've been able to earn the respect of some of the guys in the locker room and around, and I kind of just like to lead by example. I think if I do things the right way, people tend to sometimes watch what I do, and hopefully I can make a good impact on somebody, at least one guy in this clubhouse. I can help them go whatever they're going through, or whatever it may be someone to listen to them if they're going through something, or show them the way if they're a little lost. So yeah, that's all I'm trying to do.
Losing Swift means you're losing a lot of at-bats and hits. Who do you think is going to fill in for that production?
Yeah, Swifty's a huge part of the lineup last year for sure. I think the good thing is he not only paved the way for me, and I learned a lot from him, he also did that for Sean McClain and Hunter Haas, where he was hanging out with him every day in the middle infield, talking, showing them how to play the middle infield and also showing them how to carry themselves. So I think you can probably expect Sean McClain to kind of take a little bit of that step up and take some of those big at-bats like Swifty had last year.
This team has had clearly a lot of changes over the offseason. If you had to think of one word to describe the new identity of this team, what would it be?
Relentless. Yeah, obviously changes happen. This is my 3rd year in college. I've had basically 4 different coaching staffs, and that's the same for a lot of guys in there. Obviously, we lose pieces and we gain pieces, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. The coaches are great, but there's no coach that's going to go in the box and do it for you. So we've kind of rallied around. Obviously, we love our staff, but we've rallied around each other and just said, hey, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be us. No one can do it for us, and we're going to take all the information we can get and kind of put our own thing together and be relentless no matter what.
Willie kind of mentioned that the pitching staff's kind of wide open. Do you anticipate getting on the mound a little more this year, or not really?
Yeah, it's not my place to say where I'll be pitching and how much, but I know that I will be ready for sure. We don't know what the pitching staff will look like. I kind of leave that up to the coaches, and obviously we'll be able to see these next few weeks how guys throw in the live scrimmages and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know exactly where I'll be pitching, but I'll definitely be ready to whatever capacity it may be in, and I'll be ready to do whatever I need to help the team.